Handel and Peter Sam resting at the sheds after taking passenger trains. They were thinking of the past days in the Mid Sodor Railway, which was not open anymore. The more they thought about it, the more they wanted to see if much had changed, such as jokes who said, "Do you know what I want to do, Peter Sam?" asked Sir Handel. "What?" asked Peter Sam. "I want to see how much has changed. It's no good place to rest." "But a little piece of picking won't hurt," said Sir Handel. "You too know. It's the thinking troopler's birthday, lad. Isn't that the main event or tento?" Peter Sam asked again. "Yes, I do, and I'm thinking of giving him a car. Between you and me, or even load to tell the other answers we're picking in the Mid Sodor Railway, so as to find what's got to take back." "We can't tell the thinking troopler that. We'll get him thinking we don't live there, and he will find us," he went on. The drivers and firemen thought a look at the Mid Sodor Railway would be a wonderful idea to find a present for the thinking trooper, so they arranged it with the station master. Then they set off to find where they ought to live. It came to Tala Walls, finding the tunnel of adventures. When no one was looking, they went forward. So they were on Sodor, arriving in Cooper's Gate. Sir Handel and Peter Sam looked up at the big engines that were Toby and James dropping off Chalk, who was on holiday, but in Chalk's cab was the thinking trooper. "Quick, Peter Sam, follow me, or in the Mid Sodor Railway," said Sir Handel. "Lead the way," said Peter Sam, and they scampered away. Once away from the town, they were in the woods. "This is it. We can see the shed around the others we ought to rest in," said Sir Handel. "Oh, that's been getting me thinking. There's been some report of a missing Austin 7, 1928 BMW Dixie. The papers never got it, so no one knows the full story." Peter Sam had a sudden thought. "Maybe we think the car's in this coastal railway. Let's be in it and stop beside the shed, and we're too far out," said Sir Handel. So they entered the coastal hall, stopped beside Chalk's shed, looking around to call if anyone left behind in it. "Hello? Is anyone left behind? This place is maybe restricted." There was who replied. The driver walked Hooper to the shed and tried to Hooper the door after taking off the glass. Then, as if by magic, the doors opened up to reveal the wall, and a flash of white caught their eye. Inside the shed was what Peter Sam had described, but the steering wheel was not on the right, it was on the left. "Oh," said Sir Handel nervously. "Oh," said the little white car, looking back at the entrance. Oh, the car can talk," said Peter Sam. "Who are you two? And what time do you call this? You're late," said the car. "We're Sir Handel and Peter Sam, and we never run late," said Sir Handel, not wanting to get into talking of his first day in Sir Railway. "It's like in the Mid Sodor Railway in the old days. But to be not rude of your visits toward Coast Ball, who are you, and what are you doing in Duke's shed?" asked Peter Sam. "Me, I'm Plumnut, and I came here from the USA because when I used to live in a large shed of hooper cars, I had a feeling of wanting to move to a cab trip that went out of hand. The other cars were doing a race, including me. That was to suit it. I was better than any of them, but when winning and getting a coupe cab, I had to finish early by escaping the campsite and drive back to the mall farm, not letting the cars find me. I thought that diversion was enough, but the next day, when it was time for me to move, I went driving to the ferry to take me to the United Kingdom, because the wireless I turned on said I never turned up. On other camp events, I had to come back to the USA when there was root hunt. As I got on the book, the races that were next chance altered at me to come back, but they were too far for me to her, except I saw them as dots. The poop arrived in the United Kingdom, and I got off to find a place to rest. Who still knew the hunt would still come after me. I met an officer who walked up asking what I was doing here. "What's your plan of yourself in England, little car? There's been reports of you having short days in a campsite and running off." "I'm Plumnut, officer. I don't like visiting the campsite, for it's not for me to be in events, but it doesn't look my dislike, as I didn't tell it," said me. "My motor sent me to have a change of scene with stir-ups," I went on. "So the officer, I see, I swooped in my for sale sign, telling him I wanted to have a proper life. Well, if you live in the United Kingdom, your hooper is letting you move her. Who peculiar objects in you too, you may pass. So I hope the United Kingdom with hoop trouble. Suddenly I have some thoughts. Other cars from the USA were on holiday here, and when they spotted me, they began harassing. What's he doing here, hiding from the camp cars in the USA? He's not the winner of the race event. He's a fraud and a crook, this ultra. I didn't want this awful welcome. I saw them from the campsite during my first day and the last day. So ignored the harassment, but that wasn't good enough for the veteran campers. They called the campsite to tell them they found me. I can't tell the campsite I moved there for 2 days just to win the cup. I got. But this is ridiculously a life of waste of theirs, I said, a little annoyed. There was one place I read a book to get me hidden, and that was to the Mid Sodor Railway. I took out of the town and into the country. A hill was spotted from me on the right, so I ducked in it in time to miss the chasing cars, hiding behind a thick bush in the middle of the swoop. Saved again 2 times lucky, I chuckled. So I was safe to head up the hill. Who had a line that was leading me to where I wanted to hide in. A battered sign was knocked down from a wind that blew up her, giving me relief that I could find a place to hide and wait for time to leave. When I got there, I saw the railway all around down and could see a shed. Cool. It wasn't really a good place to rest, but there was no other choice. My tools were in my backseat, so I took out some clippers to carefully cut up the glass to reveal a door. In it, webs and the hoop in the roof. "Chook sad," I cried. "I shall have that hoop covered so I can stay her for 10 days. And that's all I got her, waiting for the time to move on." Sir Handel and Peter Sam were amazed when he finished the story. "Can you still run your engine?" asked Peter Sam. "I sure can. I still had a clean-up every day, but I too were too cool," said Plumnut. "There's a secret passage you can go to. It's in a shed behind the crates, so you can go to Wedge Avenue," said Sir Handel. "Tom told me when I delivered coal to Spring Hill Farm. Beckton? Oh yes, I remember who there to find myself some fuel, so I could explore the Mid Sodor Railway. That can give me a chance to move to a final destination, said Plumnut. I'll meet you guys there, but who will take me in? The Fincan trooper. He can take you for a present on his birthday, said Peter Sam. We better get back to Tasmania. Oh, drivers follow a toolbox Chuck left behind. The engine said goodbye and left the coupe. Plumnut filled up his tank, gathered up other fuel cans but I mustn't tell you anymore, or I shall spoil the next story.